Hello again. What happened to Ed Dunlap? Ray goes on our return, I saw Ed Dunlap standing outside one of the headquarters buildings. He was to meet that day with the Judicial Committee. Ed was now 69 years old. The year before, in 1979, he had talked seriously about leaving the headquarters. He knew he had been the object of personal attack, both within the governing body and outside thereof. At one point, he had asked the writing committee to give him relief from harassment. The writing committee assigned 3 of its members, Lyman Swingle, Lloyd Barry, and Ewart Chitty, to speak to governing body member Carl Klein, not then a member of the writing committee, though he became such after Chitty's resignation. They urged him to refrain from going into Ed's office and speaking critically to him, as well as to refrain from talking to others about Ed in such manner. This seemed to have effect for a time as to expressions outside the body, though not within the body and its sessions. When, in late 1979, I informed Ed of our thoughts about leaving, he said he had weighed the idea but had come to the conclusion it wasn't feasible for him. At his advanced age and in his economic situation, he did not see how he could reasonably hope to support himself and his wife. By remaining, at least they would have a place to live, food and medical care when needed. So, he said, he had decided to stay, and added, if they give me too much hassle in the writing department, I'll just ask for a transfer to the carpenter shop or some other kind of work. Less than a year later, he found himself cited for a Judicial Committee hearing. The day I saw him, he said, I'm going to be very frank with them. It's against my nature to hedge. He said he had little doubt as to what the committee would do. It was now near the end of May. Over 9 weeks had elapsed since the chairman's committee had played the Godinez tape to the governing body, in which Ed's name was used several times. Nearly that length of time had passed since Barry and Barr had interviewed him, assuring him they were just seeking information. During all those 9 weeks, although Ed Dunlap was right in their midst, even up to the very last working on a governing body assignment to prepare a book on the life of Jesus Christ, not a single one of the chairman's committee approached him to discuss these matters with him, to inform him of the grave charges being made. These men were exercising full direction of the whole affair. They all knew Ed intimately, yet to the very end, they said not one word to him on the subject. Now at this point, Ray inserts a footnote, which I would like to read because it shows the proximity and closeness with which these men had worked in prior years. The footnote says Albert Schroeder had been a fellow instructor with Ed at Gilead School for many years. Carl Klein worked in the same writing department with him, his office being right next door to Ed's. Grant Suter, a year or so before these events, had come to Ed with an assignment he, that is Grant Suter, had received to prepare an outline for one of the branch seminar class discussions, and asked Ed to prepare it for him, saying that he was very busy and was sure Ed would, quote, do a better job anyway. After Barry and Barr's initial interview with him, for 9 weeks, no one in the entire governing body went to Edward Dunlap to talk about the matter, to reason with or discuss God's word with this man who had been associated for nearly half a century, had spent some 40 years in full-time service, professed the heavenly hope, and was now nearly 70 years of age. They themselves are witnesses that this is true. How unlike the shepherd who would leave the 99 to search out and help a strayed sheep, for such he was in their eyes. Again, it may well be that some injudicious words had been spoken by a few individuals among those disfellowshipped. The above actions by those in authority, to my mind, Ray says, spoke far, far louder than did any such injudicious words. In the next segment, Ed Dunlap on trial.